Right, APC getting ready with some housekeeping, which was done, of course, by members at the subnational level, seeing new ESCOs as well. To discuss that, we have the Deputy National Secretary right here in the studio. We're talking about Professor Abdulkarim Kana, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
You saw your members there, both new and old.
Yes.
Not so, some are familiar, but some are not so. But right now, it seems as if your party is gearing up for the 2027 elections, in spite of the shrunken date now by INEC.
Yeah, well, with or without the 2027 elections, the time is due for the congresses at the state all the way up to the national. And I think we are working in compliance with our own constitution, which prescribes that every office holder spends 4 years. And all those congresses that have taken place are with respect to party organs and levels of the party where the officials have spent the constitutional 4 years. So the Congress, it was due for the Congress, with or without 2027 years.
What we have been seeing in the past few months is as if the APC has now become the most glamorous party, football club in the transfer window, as football fans would say, because so many entrants into the party, especially state governors, seem to have found your party so attractive in this new milieu. But as we move towards the elections, you've seen how your party has been taking in new entrants. But based on the constitution of your party, the governors are the leaders in those states. Mm. For governors who are just coming in, barely few weeks into the party, would that not upend what has been in the party before, especially those who have worked seriously for the success of the party, especially in the 2023 general elections, where most of them worked against some of these governors to make sure that APC remain relevant in those states?
Thank you. First of all, I will say that the success of the party should be accredited to the leader of the party, the President and Commander-in-Chief, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCON. And the reason is this: he's providing quality leadership. He has provided, he's giving direction to the country. He made promises at the inception of his administration. Very difficult decisions were taken, economic policies, and he made a promise that he will yield positive results. Those of us who were patient knew that when he speaks, it materializes. And now we're seeing the results. And I think the avalanche of persons moving into the party is a result mostly of the outcome of a promise that has been made and kept. And that's what we are experiencing now. For the governors who have moved in, yes, the party constitution is very clear. The governor in the state is the leader of the party, just as the President and Commander-in-Chief, who is also a member of our party, will be the leader of the party in the country. But then we have mechanisms in place, particularly in handling the new entrants, where there are governors who would automatically become leaders of the party to ensure that the interests and rights of the persons who were there in the party prior to the arrival of new entrants is protected. And as much as possible, the party has been working around the clock to ensure that the rights of those existing members is upheld. And I think that's what we do. If there's anything that's taking so much of our time now, between when most of these decisions were taken, when many of these governors started moving into the party, essentially, is grievance and conflict management to ensure that no one feels aggrieved with that action of accepting new governors or new persons into the party. Nobody is being offended, I can assure you. Everybody's rights are being observed. That's, yeah.
Naturally, the word on the streets was, well, you know, that's what people will be saying, especially the grassroots, is that once the governors come in, jungle will mature. Because now, if you have been working against the governor for years and now it comes in, there must be some tiny reconciliations to be done. Things on the table. Well,
you've answered the question. Reconciliations are taking place. Well, no, there are no issues here and there that coming up, but the president and the leadership of the party, particularly under the chairmanship of our party, President Tawi, is doing everything it could to ensure that those issues are resolved amicably. We're working very hard, very, very hard.
What is also going on while the other parties too are getting ready for all this, and some have even started, is the online registration of your members across the country. It's as if you, perhaps anticipated something like this. It's ongoing already, and you have a head start. Is that perhaps positioning yourself very well as far as the election?
The issues of e-registration, e-membership registration of our party did not start yesterday. It wasn't really because of in anticipation of any provision in the Electoral Act. It's an effort that has been ongoing for a long time, and but practically it only started in January this year, when there was a lot of effort that was put into it, and then the last 1 month, I think basically 1 month or 1.5 months, we're able to commence and then reach the stage where we are right now in our membership registration. Essentially, it's 4 weeks. It's not something we may have had it in mind long time ago, but essentially the practical effort towards it is in the last 4 weeks, essentially, or weeks prior to the commencement of the congresses, where we now had to stop. We started in January, had to stop for the purpose of the congresses as prescribed by the law. You can't be having congresses at the same time registering new members. And before congresses, the Electoral Act requires that you submit the register to the INEC before you start any such electoral processes within the party. And we did just that. We didn't, but then of course, the opposition parties are also in the National Assembly. We don't know who inserted that provision in. We only saw it later after the law was passed. I was surprised myself. I was the National Legal Advisor of the APC until recently, but I have to be frank with you, we didn't know that provision was there until after it has passed. And I think it's in line with the global best practice that provision has to be inserted.
All right, let's quickly look at what is happening this year. Time is not our friend to what's happening this year already. We have the FCT elections done and dusted, with your party doing quite well. Some would even say, exceeding expectations if we look at the voting pattern in the FCT over the years. And now we have 2 off-season elections in Osun, in Ekiti and Osun states. Yes. In one, you have the incumbent governor, there, while the other one, you will be, contesting against the, the incumbent governor who has moved, from the PDP to Accord at the moment. What's the mood in camp?
Well, the responsibility of every political party is to win elections. And the national chairman of the party has continued to make it very clear that it's our function, essentially, to conduct and win, and to ensure that we deliver our party. And we are prepared for it. We have ensured that the candidates we have funded our tickets to are very formidable candidates that will face any opposition. Like you rightly observed in Ekiti, you have the incumbent who is performing very well as a governor. He is delivering on the mandate of the party. On the other hand, in Osun, we've ensured that Chief Muniru Din, our candidate for Osun, is also someone who has a solid track record, someone who, by his pedigree, matches or even better by far the incumbent governor of Osun State. And the party is very much on ground. We have the structures always. Don't forget also that Osun has always been an APC state until last elections, when due to 1 or 2 errors that were made, unfortunately, the power slipped into the hands of the PDP.
It was also a PDP state at the time, too.
Everywhere was also PDP at some point in time.
Let's move on from there. Taken from there. Before we go, we still have the Deputy National Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, very popular these days, especially people defecting every day. It seems as if the register will be bulging now with new entrants.
It is bulging. It is expanding. And
from your opinion, let's just look at, because you were the chief legal advisor, you've been in political space. It's really encouraging. Perhaps contrasting ideologies, some people challenging you to say this is the way to go and all that, especially as the governors are just moving in droves. It's not as if they have not seen this party all this while, especially when some people were incubating this idea. All of a sudden, everybody is jumping to the APC. You are not suspicious of some of those moves?
Are you asking us to turn them back?
That would be on the purview of the...
Well, I don't think it's the function of ours as a party to turn anyone back. As the president has continued to say, we have a life jacket, and if any other party is sinking and it has members who are looking for to be saved, we are ready to save them. And I think essentially that's what we've been doing to those other political parties. The responsibility of ensuring there's opposition is not that of a party that is already in power. Ours is to ensure as much as possible that we win. And I think our constitution, if you read it very carefully, or if you even read the meaning and definition of political parties in any dictionary anywhere, is to win elections. And ours is to win and to ensure that as many Nigerians as possible join our party. And we're working very hard towards that, both as a party and also as a government, to ensure that all Nigerians become members of our party. Somehow, some way, ours is democracy. It will find its way, and it's going to succeed with or without opposition in place. But certainly, even where there's one party, there is opposition within the party. And the rules and laws are clear on how to ensure there is balance in the discharge of and distribution of resources in the country, to ensure that everybody gets his dues. So while we agree that opposition is good, however, it's not our responsibility to pursue anyone out or block anyone from entering our party. Our doors are wide open to date, and our chairman has continued to see it. He's inviting everyone who wants to join the party to come and join. And this is the right time to join, not to wait until after elections.
I don't want to go to that, but very quickly, before I let you go, 10 months down the line, of course, the general elections will be underway. Just now, we have a new referee talking about Professor Josh Amoputan. What are your words for him at this time, as we see, of course, the off-season elections coming up, and then the big one in January?
Yeah. Well, Josh Amoputan, Professor, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, my teacher is, and of course, a senior colleague of mine. He taught me in the university. I can tell you that he's one very competent and capable individual. I'm not saying this because he's the INEC chairman. This is my personal view about him, and I would say that his choice was the right one, and by whoever recommended him to be appointed into that position. The Electoral Act 2026 has been passed. INEC chairman has been appointed and of course approved by the National Assembly, and I think the ball has been set rolling for anyone who wants to participate in the game. We as a party are ready to participate, and you can see that we're putting our house in order. We're also encouraging the other political parties to put their house in order, so that the election can be peaceful and amicable at the end of the day.
All right, the professor, that's INEC chairman, must be proud to have, of course, taught another professor like yourself on Political Update today. Of course, it's not teach me, perhaps I'll be a student sooner or later. Yes. That has been the program for today. Many thanks to our guest for coming. He's the Deputy National Secretary of the APC, a senior advocate of Nigeria. Many thanks for coming. And of course, you for watching Political Updates. Between now and when we come away again on Tuesday, do play your politics for the greater good and keep it locked on Africa's largest and finest for news reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.